Welcome everybody to our Virtual Porch conversation. And we are featuring Moheto First United Methodist Church, our first reconciling church in the continent of Africa in Kenya. And with us today to do this presentation is the pastor, the senior pastor of Moheto First United Methodist Church, the Reverend Kennedy Mwita. Pastor Ken?
Thank you. Welcome everybody. And I'm Reverend Kennedy Mwita, the senior pastor of Moheto First UMC. I'm married to Francisca Elnora, blessed with 4 children, Benjamin Marwa, John Monyolo, Helen Robbie, and Blessings Chacha. I want to share with you about our advocacy story in Moheto as a reconciling congregation here in Moheto. Our story began in 2012 when we were advocating for the HIV/AIDS patients due to the stigma which was associated by the HIV, and especially from the faith groups who were viewing HIV/AIDS as a curse from God, targeting those who were promiscuous in the society. And so we felt this need for us to stand in the gap between the HIV pandemic, the victims, and the society. And so in the process of the advocacy in 2012, we realized again that the stigma was also moving in towards the FGM. FGM is female genital mutilation, where it is a culture practiced in the society I live in. And so all these collected together, we also realized that it was amounting to what we call gender-based violence, because men will take the lead in a community. We being so patriarchal, in that nature, women became the suffering object, and the female and the girls. And so our advocacy became broader, and we became known to the community as the group that is championing for the rights of the minority in the society. In the process, that's how we came to meet a mother of James Mose, who was our first person to encounter the intersex child. And from this experience, it broadened our understanding, and more so to learn more about the human sexuality. And after learning more about human sexuality and orientation, we became so vocal to champion for the rights of the LGBTIQ persons in totality. So that is our story on how we moved into advocacy for the LGBTIQ persons. And on September 1st, 2019, that was last year, we as a church voted to be a reconciling congregation here in Kenya and in Africa within United Methodist Church. And our main aim was so that to bring a change from within, not from outside. Having taken several discussions on human sexuality with the clergy in Kenya, the clergy in the United Methodist Church, the cabinet, and other leaders, I feel and I have the urge to continue the discussion so that people understand more about the creation, God's creation story. That as long as we have A, we also have A to Z. Our God is Alpha and Omega. It is A to Z. But between A and Z, we have B, C, D, and all those. So even in humanity, we also have male and female, yes. But in between, we also have other human beings to be considered. So that is why we as a church in Moheto, we stand open to really continue the advocacy and continue telling people that we need to extend love, God's love, to all people, regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of their economic status, regardless of their situation, their tribe, their ethnicity, or their social status. Before us, that is our congregation. In the slide you are seeing there is our church, our sanctuary, and our church. Our church is made up of all diversity of people, from the oldest to the youngest. we have small children, we have the youth, we have the disabled, we have the able ones, and so it is a collection of all people in the house of God. Our mission statement, our reconciling statement, when we went through the process of being a reconciling congregation, we made a statement that we proclaim that all people are created in the image of God. And remember, this is what formed our basis of advocacy. Up to now, we still stand on the same foundation, that we will continue to proclaim that all people are created in the image of God. We welcome and affirm each person, regardless of age, economic status, faith, tribe, ethnicity, gender, mental or physical ability, marital status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. We celebrate everyone as beloved child of God and worth of God's love and grace. And our vision as a church in Moheto, being the only reconciling congregation here in the continent of Africa, we are a small seed, yes, we understand. But we know that, just the way Jesus said in the Bible, a small seed like a mustard seed, we know that we are growing slowly by slowly. And so as a church, our vision in the broader church is to become a growing and vibrant place of ministry, living out the great commandments to love one another and great commission to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. We really want to transform the world. We want to change the world so that the world may see the love of God. The world may see who God is through us. Let the world see God through Moheto. Our focus, as I mentioned before, is to be transformed and radically welcoming, intentionally witnessing, and passionately worshiping congregation with an extravagant worldview. Our core is found on the Galatians chapter 3, verse 28, where we acknowledge that all people are equal before God. No more Jew. In Africa, we have tribes. In other continents, we have issues about racism. But here we have issues about tribe. We have issues about ethnicity. And so we speak that there are no more tribal bounds. There are no more Greeks or Jews, just as Paul says. That is our focus, and we want to live for that focus. Every Sunday, we celebrate Holy Communion, as you can see from the picture on the slides, and we welcome everybody, regardless of who the people are. The other slide you're seeing here, we have on this day we had our friends from Chicago who visited us. And the other side you are seeing myself and Pastor David Ochar, who is a pastor of Cosmopolitan Affirming Church. Is a gay pastor, and I love him because he's very open in our society where people cannot speak openly that I'm gay, but there he is. He speaks openly, and on this day, he was the one presiding over the Holy Communion in our congregation in Moheto, and we love that. Well, our mission and witness in the world is not only preaching the gospel, but also being practical in our witness, involving people in what they are able to do and to do it better, like in agriculture. Agriculture, we value agriculture because in our country, that is what earns us most income. And even the community I live in and I serve, most of the people are unemployed. So they derive their livelihood from agriculture. And so in the pictures you are seeing there we are teaching youth on how to do planting, raw planting, so that they be able to get to quality and proper yield. And the women also being taught how to plant sweet potatoes and vegetables, so that they do what's called modern way of planting and agriculture. We also want to appreciate congregations that have supported us. That is, during this COVID-19 pandemic, there was lockdown. People could not move up and down to getting food. And this one also poses a threat to food insecurity. And our place also had issues about locusts. We also had excess rainfall, which flooded in some parts, and some parts did not flood, but crops were destroyed by excess water in the soil. And so we had issues of food insecurity and lack of food. A church in our sister church in Everston, First UMC, supported us with some food relief and were able to give to members of the church. We also want to extend our appreciation to Simsbury in Connecticut, who also supported us with the food. And also currently, Anne Craig is also helping us to look for means and ways on how we can raise some funds to buy seeds and fertilizer so that we are able to give each member of the church and the community some seeds and fertilizer to plant so that we have enough food. Because we believe on one thing, teaching people how to fish and not only giving people fish. So we and Craig are working on how we can get fishing rods, that's the seeds and fertilizer, to ensure that members of Moheto community have enough seeds and enough fertilizer to plant enough food for the future to be able to have food security. During this COVID-19 pandemic, it has become complicated, especially for people who don't have means to support themselves, to keep clean. But in a simple way, we're trying to help even young children how to wash their hands. So the picture you're seeing there is a wash program. Wash program is a program that focuses on how we are able to maintain hygiene, environmental hygiene in the community and society. So each and every household in Moheto community, we've trained people, not only members of the church, but the entire community, to have what we call leak tin. Leak tin is just an ordinary tin, which you punch the tin using a nail, and then you leave the nail there, fill the tin with water. So after you use the latrine, you remove the nail, then the water will be slipping through normal gravity law of HROG. Then a person washes the hands as the water leaks. That's why we call it leak tin. It is not so sophisticated. And you can get that tin from any other old used oil or fuel, any tin. And so this one is very cheap and very easy for every member of the family. At the same time, previously we didn't have clean water in Moheto, and so we had to teach people how to filter water, to use what we call pour to clean the water. There you are seeing a team from Florida who visited the Moheto community to teach people on how to clean water, how to make water clean, because we didn't have clean water. However, in the next slide, you will see that having known the challenge we were facing in Moheto, a family of Dr. Christine Migure and Mike Migure from Everston, together the church and the Pastor Grace, were able to help us drill a borehole in Moheto. You are seeing there is a machine, a drilling machine, and currently we have clean water in Moheto, which serve the entire Moheto community, which has over 15,000 people. So right now people have clean water. We have no more typhoid, no more amoeba, no more problems of waterborne diseases. So we really appreciate for the good work that this is all through the Reconciling Ministry network that we are working it out. I really appreciate that. Our women, United Methodist Women in Moheto, is a very vibrant, strong organization. And we realize that our witness should begin from home. Charity begins from home. And so the Women Empowerment Program, they always meet on every Tuesday. In their meeting, they discuss, just the way Wesley groups were, they ask about how each person is growing spiritually, physically, and socially, even in the house. And so in the process, they discover the missing links, the missing points. What are people lacking? So what the people lack, what a person lacks, they will collect the money. They keep small penny, small change, small shillings, like 10 shillings, 50 shillings, and then they collect and buy a product for one member. For example, the first picture you're seeing, that woman is called Catherine. Catherine received a cooking pot made of aluminium to go and help. The other photo you are seeing, the Mama Helen, being the president of the women, presenting a table to this mother. Because when they went in his house, they realized he didn't have a table to put even tea on. So they bought a table. So that's how they work to support one another and keep that love together. Still, on the same women empowerment, we have more focus on women and youths because they form over 80% of the population in the church. And most youths are unemployed. And so women, and the same as women are unemployed. So we worked out together, and right now we have 4 sewing machines. And with these 4 sewing machines, we train young people, we train women on how to sew. And this program was so much instrumental during COVID-19 pandemic. Right now, even as we are talking, where we were able to make masks and be able to distribute masks to people. And now they're there, you are seeing they're being taught on how to make the table clothes. And these table clothes, they sell them. After selling, the money they get from the sales, they buy more materials, and at the same time, they help any person who is in need somewhere. This training center, our vision is to expand it, become a very big training center that can really train more people, become like a polytechnic. But as you see, we only have 4 machines which are manual. I hope that in future we'll be able to get adequate machines to be able to train more people in Moheto community to become self-reliant and self-driving people. These are my, the next slide you're seeing is on women microfinance project. Microfinance project, we came up with this idea in 2018. And the main focus of this microfinance project was to empower women be able to get some little money. Remember, to get money from the conventional banking systems, it is not easy. In my context in Kenya, for you to get a bank loan, you need to have land title deed, you need to have some security, and some of these people don't have that. And so we thought, how well can we be able to support one another? So we came up with the idea we call table banking, where people meet together, we give out to a tune of $1, that's 100 shillings each person, each day, and then we identify amongst us who needs that money, then he's given that money as a form of loan. Then that person is given some time to repay it, maybe after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. Then when you repay with a small interest of 5%. If you're given $1, you bring 5% of that $1. The reason why you put that 5% is so that people work towards increasing some level of amount of money we are saving to be able to loan more people at the end of the day. And so currently, as we are talking, we've been able to help our men in the church, women in the church, and also people in the community. Some members of the community also come to borrow from us. And by that, we are seeing our witness in the community has grown much. And this one has also helped us to have new members coming joining the church. And also, it has also enabled us to also be able to buy a few things for the church. For many years, we lived in Moheto. Moheto has no health facility. The next health facility is 20 kilometers away from Moheto. And so in 2006, a mother died of heavy bleeding after birth, and we felt there was need for us to be a witness here in Moheto. So we began the journey of constructing a health center. It has taken us a couple of years to arrive where we have arrived because we didn't have enough resources to build it. So this one has been built by the collection from the members of the church and also from these other programs we have like agriculture and other programs. What we get from there, we also input here. But from January this year, we were able to receive a grant, a small grant from Everson Church, which helped us to be able to start off the clinic and be able to pay our staffs for this year. So our clinic is functional, yes, but still our clinic is in need of facilities, equipments. It is in need of equipment, lab equipments, and other many things to be able to provide health services adequately here in Moheto. But we really appreciate the work of the Reconciling Ministry Network because through it we were able to get electricity wired directly into the clinic. Now patients need not to have the darkness at night, but they have light throughout the night. So our clinic has become a source of hope in the community of Moheto. As we are talking, there are patients inside. We also have education program focusing the girl child and also boy child. And so we have on this program of education, we go in schools and talk to girls on how to be safe in school, on how to avoid premarital issues that can amount to early pregnancies. Because in our curriculum, some of these things are not addressed clearly. And so we felt as a church, there's need to really talk to our girls and our boys to know how to be safe and to value education. At the same time, we also we are in partnership with Days for Girls. Days for Girls is an organization that also provides menstrual pads, menstrual pads, which are reusable to these girls. Most of these girls, when we went to the schools, we found that they were using mattresses, they were using old clothes, towels, old pants during their menstrual period. And so through this program of Days for Girls, menstrual hygiene, we've been able to distribute 1,500 menstrual kits to girls and women. We have also been able to distribute close to over 400 to women. Now, before us are voices of our members of the church who also want to say something. Before us is Dr. Eli. This is a nurse in our clinic, and he wants to say a word or two. Then, welcome, Eli.
Thank you. My name is Eli Chacha. Come from Moheto First UMC. And to thank God for the Reconciling Ministries Network, for the good thing you've done for us since September when we joined the movement. We were in darkness, no power, no electricity, but I thank God for now, at least we have electricity and our phones can be charged throughout, you can be online throughout, and I thank God for that, and may God bless the Reconciling Ministry. Thank you.
Yes, as I said, we did have electricity in the clinic, but now through the Reconciling Ministry Network, we have electricity. And the doctor appreciated so much because he's the person who stay there the whole night with the patient when there's darkness. And so before us is also Francisca Elnora Mandau. She's the program coordinator for the education programs in the church and mostly for girls, Days for Girls mental hygiene. Let's hear from her.
Okay, my names are Francisca Elnora Mandau. I'm a member of First United Methodist Church in Moheto, and I want to thank the Lord because since I became a member of Reconciling Ministry, we've been able to distribute 1,500 kits to girls and over 1,000 to women. So these kits have been so useful to these women and girls. So may God bless you for distributing these kits to us. Thank you.
Yes, you just heard from her. She's the program coordinator, so she's very devised the figures. 1,000, over 1,000 for women. Yeah, I didn't get that clear, so I've just learned that over 1,000 for women have been distributed, and over 1,500 to girls. Before us is Helen Odera. Helen Odera is a community health volunteer, worker in the community, and she works with the Ministry of Health, focusing on female genital mutilation. Let her hear what she wants to say about.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kwa majina naitwa Helen Odera Mwita. Ninashiriki katika Moheto First Methodist, na jambo ambalo ningependa kuongea juu ya tohara ya wasichana. Sisi kama kanisa la Moheto hatuungi mkono sawa yani tohara ya wasichana. Tunapinga, tunataka wasichana wakizaliwa wakuwe venye walivyo, kwa sababu Mungu aliumba msichana. Wakati unapopeleka msichana wako kutahiriwa, unajua unamtoa network. Network ile kitu mnayetoa ni network yake. Kwa sababu hiyo ndio uzuri wa msichana. Hiyo. Kwa hivyo tunapinga, hatutahiri wasichana wetu. Kufikia sasa hivi tuko nao wasichana ambao bado wamesimama imara, wasichana 5 ambao hawajatahiriwa. Asante.
Kwa majina
Helen was speaking in Swahili. Swahili is the national language of Kenya. And she's saying, we in the United Methodist Church Moheto, remember as I was saying before, that our main focus, our advocacy began with HIV and female genital mutilation. So she's talking about female genital mutilation. And she's saying that we do not support the female cut, because female cut has so much negative effect to women and to mothers and to girls. So she's saying this year, they were able to rescue this season, not this year, this season, they were able to rescue 5 girls. Remember with the COVID-19, schools were closed, and so it gave chance to people to do a lot of things. So they were able to rescue 5 girls this season, and that was a very big plus on their side. Thank you. Welcome, Pauline.
Ninashukuru, tulikuwa na njaa sana. Wenzako walipata na mtoto wetu akatuletea. Tunashukuru sana. Mungu ni mwema, anatusaidia. Kwa hiyo nasema asante.
Pauline Nabiage is a member of our church, 85 years old, and she's extending her appreciation for the relief food that we've been receiving since the COVID-19 began. Now, as we move towards the end of this presentation, we have priority in our church. The first priority we have is that we're looking for opportunities on how we could purchase land and construct church building and parsonage. And on the same parcel, we'll be able to construct a training center where we can train people on the life skills. We can also have leadership development going on. We keep on having programs focusing on the development, training people, evangelization, stewardship education. So we also look for ways on how we can support church workers, clergy, and parish staffs. I want to say something about this. In our context, we have been serving as a pastor from 1998 to date, and it is unique and very funny. And also, I think that we don't have salary, we don't earn any salary. And so because of that, we as a church, we are looking for ways on how we can improve the programs we are working on to be able to have income that can pay the clergy, they can also pay the parish staffs, and also cater for the welfare of the church members, because it is very hard to really serve in such a context. But we thank God because we are managing it to that level. So that is our priority number one, the key priority. The next one is the transportation and telecommunication. It is very challenging on how we also move because we don't have any proper support, no salary. it also becomes difficult for clergy to move up and down in their daily programs. So we are also focusing that as we keep on growing, we'll be able to have means of transportation. Maybe even for our clinic, sometimes when we have emergencies, it becomes difficult for us to refer this patient for further management. You call for an ambulance, for government ambulance, they take almost 7 hours, 8 hours before they arrive. Sometimes you are told there's no fuel. Sometimes you are told the vehicle is out of other places. So I think we are praying that if all goes well, we'll be able to get an ambulance in our clinic facility and also some church van for the pastoral use. It will be very, very much welcome. We are working on a website. We are working to have a website so that anytime you want to see what we are doing in Moheto, you just click it and see it out there, and that will be enhancing the communication around. And on that note, I also want to appreciate Izzy and General Lawrence and the entire team, of the Reconciling Ministry for enabling us to have a Wi-Fi that now we can communicate easily. Before then, it was not easy for us to communicate all often. And so, and continue our ministry with other groups of people like the deaf, the blind, the persons with other physical and mental disabilities in a society, so that we extend this love to all people, regardless of who people are. In as much as we have said all this, we also have challenges. And the key challenge you can see around is the stigma. Stigma associated with the society, to the people, to the LGBT community, stigma to HIV persons, stigma to the COVID, those people with COVID, and some people even they are not. Once you have been arrested by the police and taken to a quarantine center, whether you test positive or not, when you come back to society, the acceptance becomes a problem. So we began programs on how to educate our society to understand on this. And widespread of LGBT discrimination within the conference and other society is also another key thing. We as a church in Moheto, remember our United Methodist Church up to now has not upheld the inclusion. But as I said before, we are going to fight, and we'll keep on fighting a change from within, because we want to ensure that people around us, our church understands, and the people around us understand, so that we change the society, perception of the society. Because even if our 2020 or 2021, I don't know when the conference will be, general conference, because we still don't know how Corona will be. But even if we vote for the inclusion, we still need to work hard to ensure that the societies we live in have a changed mindset for inclusion. So, and that's what we are working towards, so that we have a changed mindset on the ground, on the grassroots level. Inadequate medical facilities is another challenge we experience in our clinic. For whoever want to contact us, you're welcome. Write us letters. Our box number is 382. Code number is 40400. Sooner, it is there. You can see it on the clip. The email address there, you can see it over there. The phone number, as you see it, it's very clear: 07 plus 254 701 328946. The same number is a WhatsApp number. You can also like us on Facebook page, which is clearly written there. And also, very soon we shall be having our website, and we shall be able to publish it publicly. And whoever want to stand with us both in prayers and also in support, we have our bank details, which you can copy it over there. First United Methodist Church. And this account is a dollar account, so when you any donation going to this account is tax-free. By the way, it is tax-free. That's a good news about that. So you're all welcome. And I want to say thank you for taking your time listening to me. and also going together with us in this presentation. Otherwise, God bless you. And I welcome all of you to plan to visit us in Moheto, Kenya, so that we can pray together, we can serve together, and we can witness together in the society, so that we can also express the love of God to all people. Otherwise, thank you so much, and God bless you. Stay safe.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ken. We are truly grateful to the ministries of Moheto First United Methodist Church, who are an inspiration to many of us. And we ask our network to be supportive, to contact you. Everybody, thank you so much for listening in to our Virtual Porch presentation today.